Last week we talked about how managers are frustrated with employees. Today, employees are striking back. Yes, you're frustrated with your boss. Big time, I hear you. It is the number one reason why people leave their job. In this video, we're going to talk about why your manager frustrates you and also learn ways so you can upgrade your boss. Yes, it is possible. My name is Greg Engelbert. I've had about a 20-year corporate career where I went from being a trainee to eventually being a VP managing director. From managing myself to eventually managing about 1,000 people. Today I'm a mentor, I'm a coach for people, teams and organizations to help them see who they are and truly follow who they are in life. Let's start with some behaviors from your boss that might drive you crazy. They micromanage you. They check everything you do. They could almost be doing the job instead of you. They give you no autonomy. They have a short temper, a minute roadblock, and they go berserk. That makes you want to avoid them most of the time. They don't communicate. You just don't know what they do, how they feel, where the organization is going because they just don't talk about it. They never thank you for your work, whatever amount of effort that you put in. They don't train, mentor or coach you, you're on your own. They don't listen to your ideas because they think they're the smartest in the room, they have the best ideas. They do not tell you about why you do the work that you're doing for this team, for this organization. They don't really relate. And there are no clear standards between the people in the team. It smells like favoritism. All those aspects are effectively your boss creating tension with your primary psychological needs. And here we're talking about your need for autonomy, for relatedness and competence. I talk a lot about this, so you can check in this video here and you will learn more about this concept of autonomy, relatedness and competence. They can become your compass for your self-development. So why would you improve your boss? It's not your job after all. Well, right now you probably feel like a victim. And it doesn't feel good because you feel like there is nothing you can do. So what are the options in front of you? You can keep complaining and going about the same way in your work. That's not very healthy. You can quit because, there's no point in trying to change the boss. Or you can try to find a way to make your boss become the best version of themselves. The first step here is to get curious about why your manager behaves the way they do. They're usually not just evil and born that way. Really. And here are some examples of deeply rooted insecurities that your boss might have. They might lack experience, so they feel insecure about the best ways that they can do their job. They are not natural born communicators, so they really struggle to pass their messages the best way to the team. And they might never have learned how to become a good communicator. They might be getting a lot of pressure from their higher ups, putting a lot of targets, deadlines that they have to fulfill. And they might just pass that stress on to you. They might be assuming the best ways that they can help the team, which means that they actually do something which is not really useful for the team, or they keep doing different things, which is very confusing. They put in their mind that actually being the best friend to the team is the best way to have a performing team. But being a best friend in their mind is just being nice to the team, not really challenging to the team. So the standards are pretty low. They might be dealing with personal problems, might be health problems, they might be personal issues at home. That will take a toll on them. They might think that work is very transactional. We're not here to be friends with each other, to know each other. It's about you do something for me, I do something for you. They might feel it's not a very human environment. And they might be suffering, like any of us, from some biases, whether conscious or subconscious biases, which are influencing the way they treat people. If you feel more about what your manager is feeling, then you can start thinking positively about how you can help her or him the best way. You like this video so far? Then you know what to do, and also subscribe to the channel and put the notifications on if you want content like this every week. For summary of key points or other tools that can help you apply what you've learned in this video, check my Patreon below. And also check out the other videos from other YouTubers that talk about the same topic in the description below. You might think that you need to learn from your manager, that's the role of your manager. Counterintuitively, you actually might need to think that you are going to be better than them anyway. To paraphrase Mahatma Gandhi, you need to become the change that you want to see in your boss. Ask yourself the question, considering all those frustrations that we've talked about before, how would you turn any and all of those frustrations into something that you can do? For instance, if your manager doesn't trust you, it can both come from them and you. Trust is built upon demonstrating integrity, intent, capability, and result. How would you rate yourself from 1 to 10 on each of those parameters? Then see where you can improve, what are the things that you can do for each of the parameters so you do your part on building trust. And check out this video about how you can use trust to improve everything around you. They have a short temper? Be calm. It will help them calm down. This is hard. It basically demands that you do not emotionally react to their emotions. And a way of doing that is to try to understand why are they so stressed about the current situation. They're not angry with you. They're usually angry about themselves and something that they think they haven't done. You can then be curious with them about the source of this stress in their life. If they don't communicate, then over-communicate. Do it with other team members and with your manager, just push information towards them. And also best is to tell them what information you would like to have more of. Make them realize what in their lack of communication is impacting your work and the team's work. Be thankful to them for what they do for you and for your team. Be over thankful, shower them with gratitude. Propose an icebreaker, which is about discovering each other's love language, for instance. They might not understand the primary purpose, but subconsciously they might get the point. Ask yourself, what can I learn from my boss? When you have something in mind, then go see them and tell them, hey, I'd like you to mentor me. And tell them that you admire this skill that they have and that you would like to learn from. They'll feel good about it. And be clear with yourself about what you want to progress in terms of skills, in terms of behaviors that you want to change in your life. And go find it. It doesn't depend on your boss to find those things. Who do you think is responsible for your learning? Favoritism is happening? Be the person that treats everybody equally, even if they are very different from you. Be polite, be supportive, be the go-to person. Do it not to please them, but to do it based on what they need. And expect the same in return. And please, don't gossip. It creates a negative spiral of negativity in teams. It is easy to demonize people. We very naturally build negative stories about why people do what they do. But usually what we should be able to do is to separate the person from the problem. The first step is to identify what is the specific issue which is actually being discussed or there is a conflict about. And here you have to focus on the specific behavior or situation where this is happening. It's not about a generalization about your boss character, it's really about that specific behavior, that specific situation. Once the issue has been identified, you can start to work on potential solutions. So instead of dwelling on negative past stories, you start to think about positive events in the future, a positive imagined future. If you find yourself stuck in negative stories or experiences, you can try to reframe them. For example, instead of thinking, my boss is always criticizing me, you could rephrase it into, my boss cares for me and is trying to help me improve and gives me feedback for that intent. I know it might not feel that way, but if you think that way, you will surprise yourself in thinking more positively. It's hard to change if you don't know what people think. If your manager, for instance, has asked for feedback, you might fear doing it, but if they have opened the door, you should use it. And you can learn more about feedback in this video here. It might feel strange, but ask for feedback first. Be the example. And if they are not volunteering for asking for feedback and you're not sure about how you would ever start giving them feedback, then maybe you can use Feedforward. This focusing on what could be improved in the future. You can use it first with yourself, then use it with your boss. Essentially, it is saying that there is one behavior, one habit that you would like to improve. And then you come to see someone, your manager for instance, and you say, okay, give me one suggestion on how I could improve that. Want to learn more about it? Check this video. You might feel that doing all of this is hard. Yes, it is hard to work on yourself, start growing and do things which make you uncomfortable. So you need help. We all do. The single best way that I found to improve myself in life has been to have mentors and coaches. Mentors because they acted as role models. They inspired me. They made me visualize how I could change my life because somebody else did it before me. Coaches because they helped me go through my own frustrations and transform them into my own solutions. And also because my coaches always believed in me. They've always been my biggest cheerleaders. That's why I'm a coach today, so I can cheerlead people to outgrow their bosses. And also remember that you have other colleagues or your HR department or the peers of your boss that you can try to band together, talk to them, so you can address some of the issues that your manager is having. All those tips are based on something very simple as a principle, which is get out of your manager what you need for your own development. If they don't change in the process, well, too bad for them. You will still have grown. And once you have improved yourself, you have grown, then you will be eminently more attractive to other managers in the company or anybody outside of your current organization. You want to do a quick, fun survey to assess where your boss is lacking the most? Check out in the description. I'll leave you with a quote from Ronald Reagan that might inspire you to grow and outgrow your boss. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He or she is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. You have watched this video as an employee? Then go check out the video from last week, which is talking about manager frustrations. Empathy is understanding deeply what others might be thinking and feeling. It creates a mutual path of understanding. Check it out.